Hi, ladies. I'm Jen Lorman, exercise physiologist, mom of 3, co-creator of Tighten Your Tinkler.
I'm Christina Walsh, mom of 2, physical therapist and co-creator of Tighten Your Tinkler. And we're so excited to bring you some help with sleep because what mom doesn't need that?
Totally.
This is
Say it again.
Yeah, this is a win that a lot of the women who work with us and who follow us are so excited about, and they're ready to shout it from the rooftops.
And it's an unexpected benefit that they had no idea they would get from the program.
An unexpected win, and you don't even realize how bad it's gotten because it all happens slowly. This is a recurring theme with all of the stuff that we work with and help women with. It slowly creeps in on your life, interrupting things in so many ways that you don't even realize have gotten that bad.
And this takes us back on our little bit of a rant of things that are common but not normal, because 76% of women 40 and older are getting up at least one time a night to pee. So obviously this is a big problem. It's very common, but it is not normal. And there are some holistic things that you can do that don't necessarily involve prescriptions, although there can be a brain component to this if you've been diagnosed with an overactive bladder, or there's a neural component to that because of another condition or a diagnosis that you have. We did do a previous video talking about the brain bladder connection, and we'll post the other 2 videos that we've actually done about pee problems below here.
Yep, but this one is all about how to get you sleeping better as it relates to your pee problems that you probably don't even realize are that much of a problem because they happen slowly. One girl, it was one of my favorite women that we've worked with, we had her fill out the bladder diary. That's a part of working with us for anybody who's got pee stuff. And we said, we really think that you've got more than you realize going on. And she's like, I don't know, okay, I'll fill out this thing, whatever. And she came back and said, I cannot believe I'm peeing more than 20 times a day. And it was dramatically interrupting her life, sleep, but also as a health professional, because she was really limited in how she was able to work with her clients and the length of her appointments and rushing between them because she was having to squeeze in all these pee breaks. And again, it happened slowly over time as she'd had these 2 children and the baby was a couple years old and she couldn't believe.
And keep in mind, she'd also told us she has a small bladder and that she drank a lot of water, and those were also her justifications for all of her pee breaks.
That's what we always hear. I don't care how much water you drink. And there's no such thing as a small bladder. This doesn't have to be you, and it's amazing how easy it can be to fix. We're going to give you some quick tips for quick wins in this realm right now.
So number 1 is, we call it the porta potty hover, because we're from New Orleans and we pee in porta potties during Mardi Gras.
And Jazz Fest.
And Jazz Fest.
All the things. Don't do the porta potty squat, the porta potty hover, whether it's at work, you're like, I'm a germaphobe.
Right, with COVID and whatnot, you're not wanting to sit down on the seat. Don't do that.
That's not going to be your friend when it comes to completely emptying your bladder. So you need to sit to fully relax the muscles of the pelvic floor, which is part of letting the pee out. You have to relax the muscles to let it all out, which ropes right back into not pushing your pee out, because that is also not relaxing the muscles of the pelvic floor. Okay, you're like, okay, why do I care about emptying my bladder all the way? Who cares? If you don't empty your bladder all the way, you're going to be the one who has to pee again as soon as you peed, or you're going to be the girl peeing 20 times a day and getting up at night to pee. That's why you care. This is going to help you sleep through the night and not interrupt your life with pee breaks. So don't do the porta potty squat,
and don't
push your pee out. Peeing is about relaxing, fully relaxing those muscles to let the pee out. That's tip number 1.
Love it. Tip number 2 is a really practical tip. A lot of the women that we work with who are peeing a lot, we want you to stay hydrated, because hydration is a big part of recovery in terms of tissue. It's also a big issue with women who are dealing with constipation. Dehydration is associated with that. And so women are like, well, you want me to stay hydrated, but I don't want to drink anymore because I feel like I'm going to have to pee more. Which is why we started with these electrolyte drops that we recommend to all of the women that we work with, where you can add that to the water that you are drinking or to whatever tea or coffee or whatever, and it will help you stay hydrated without having to add more liquid throughout the day.
It helps your body make better use of the water you're already putting in. So that's a huge win, and it's super easy, simple, and affordable. Highlight electrolyte drops. We'll drop the links below and all around and all that stuff.
And then the third one has to do with movement and dry brushing. And that might sound like, how in the world is this related to me getting better sleep at night? So many of the women that we work with, either during pregnancy or postnatal, or if you have some other chronic condition that's creating a lot of inflammation, you might have some swelling that you notice. So I know most of you will be able to identify towards the end of pregnancy, feeling like you have fluid building up in your ankles and your feet and all of that pressure. That is your lymphatic system being pressed and not able to work in the way it should be, because your belly is literally pressing on those vessels. And so that lymphatic return is not working as efficiently as it could.
Very often, if you don't get, which women in this country, as a matter of course, don't get to trying to fix, that up and in support reintegrated and restarted of all that musculature, you're going to continue to have downward pressure, and you're going to continue to have fluid retention problems and swelling issues. And so there's some simple things you can do about that.
Yep.
Before you decide you're just going to go ahead and hop into our program and fix it for good. Dry brush.
Okay. And this is so easy. You might be like, another thing that I got to fit in my day. Here is my simple tip and trick with this. I lay out my clothes the night before, and this dry brush sits right on top of the pile that of my clothes. And so before I put them on, I just do a little like towards my heart, my legs. It's maybe 30 seconds more, but that visual cue of having it right there really does make a difference, because I've had a lot of problems with all the abdominal surgeries that I've had with lymphatic return. But getting back to the problem, because you still maybe might not be connecting the dots, why this is related to getting up and peeing in the middle of the night. If you've got this inflammation when you're standing up and you've got all that fluid, and gravity is impacting your body's ability for that good lymphatic return, when you lay down at night and you take gravity out of the equation, then that fluid can be pulled into the kidneys and processed, and it creates more urine. So you want to eliminate that inflammation, because if that could be one of the things that might be causing you to get up more in the middle of the night.
And movement's the other key to that. Just getting out for a walk. It doesn't have to be a high intensity exercise class.
Or doing our program.
Or doing the program. It's a great way to add that movement. But these tips will make a difference and will help you to pee less and sleep more. And every mom could use a little bit more of that.
So if you have questions, reach out to us. We love getting your DMs, your private messages, or you could just comment right below this video. And we are looking forward to moving ahead and talking about more stuff next week. Next week is Thanksgiving. So we're talking about back and hip when we come back in December.